I'm over in Leura and it's pleasantly snowing. It's the most beautiful weather, there's no wind, it's just snow, and the whole town is just lit up with snow everywhere and everybody's really happy. It's a great vibe. I'll shortly be heading over to the spring to collect some spring water at the Leura spring, and that was actually the real reason why I'm here. But I thought since it's snowing I might as well stop over and just enjoy seeing everything in a different perspective. This is the first time I've seen the Blue Mountains snowing, although I do know that it happens a couple of days a year, and it's just really nice to witness. If you ever get a chance and you find out that it's snowing over in the Blue Mountains, head over there. I highly recommend it, especially when it's snowing during the day, because you get to enjoy it more. I'm just heading over to the Leura Spring. It's just on the corner of Lindeman Road and Kings Road, but whenever you're coming to this spring, just to be respectable to the neighbours and try and park somewhere safely on Kings Road rather than going on the dirt road, which is Lindeman Road. Anyway, today is extra special because of the snow, and the water doesn't freeze, oddly enough, so the water will be safe. It'll be easier to capture as normal. And one thing that's really interesting about this particular spring is that it's kind of located right at the trunk of a really big tree as well. So that's just something a little bit different compared to some of the other springs I see, which are normally coming out of the rocks. One thing to be very careful of is that the access ramps leading into this spring are very difficult. There is a handrail, but even with that, take your time. It's not a rush, and you'll be fine. So this path here is very steep, and especially on a day like today with the snow, quite slippery to get down, but that's one way into the spring. And then the other one, probably steeper, but it does have a handrail on there. And so long as you're taking your time, I think you'd be okay. I'm gonna try and do that now. Make sure your shoes have grip. So you can see that somebody's put some sort of stepping stones here. They're not the greatest, but they are fairly secure. So long as you just take your time, hold on to the railing, and slowly make your way down to the spring. For elderly people, they'd probably need somebody to support them, and same with children as well. No running, it's just not worth it. Fortunately, the railing goes right to sort of the steepest part, which is good. So here's the path. Otherwise, if it's not good to go on a day like today, a bit slippery. One thing I like about this spring as well is, from what I understand, I think it might actually be part of a private property, but it's nice to see that it's open to the public as well. There was no signs restricting anyone coming here. And here's the spring right on the tree, right where the tree is. It's a bit of a plank there as well. Again, just be careful when you're walking on that, because it could be a little bit like a seesaw. The quality of the water in this spring here in Leura is just as great as the other springs within the Blue Mountains. The ones I commonly go to are the one in the Grotto in North Lawson Park, and also the Shaman Spring over in Blackheath. But out of all the springs, the most accessible would still have to be the North Lawson Park Grotto Spring. This one, the water flows really well, but it's just, you've just got to dunk your bottles in the water a little bit in order to access the tip of the spring where the water's coming out. But it is a beautiful spring, it's a beautiful location, it's a beautiful drive, and you can also go out to the township of Leura whilst you're out here and just make a day of it, go and have a coffee and things like that. One thing you'll probably notice with me a lot as well is that I do carry a lot of Myron violet glass with me, because I like to put my spring water in those jars. And the reason why I do that is because I've read in different literature that when you put anything in these type of jars, it actually works as a preservative. It's the same glass that was used by the ancient Egyptians, and they were storing a lot of seeds, like tobacco seeds and things like that in them. And then hundreds of years later, or even thousands of years later, when the tombs got dug up, they went to go and access the seeds that were in those jars, and they were able to sprout. So with the water as well, I've been told that if you put your spring water in a Myron jar and leave it out in the sunlight for an hour, it actually charges up the spring water, which is a good little thing to do. And also when you hold these jars up to the light, you'll see that there's, you can see the violet colour come out of them. They don't look so black. But they're really good, strong, sturdy jars. You can use them to store anything, but I like to use them for not only superfoods and teas and things like that, but for my spring water. Anyway, I'll better continue on and fill up the rest of my waters, and I hope to see you at spring soon.